Assalamu alaikum and hello viewers as well as new viewers. My name is Samina Chughtai. And I'm your host for today. Welcome to the Let's Talk show, British Muslim TV. We're live here in the studio in Wakefield, and we're also live on Twitter as well as Facebook. So, like always, it would be great if you can participate in the discussion today, and any questions that you have, please do not hesitate to ring on this number, which is 01924 231 083, or alternatively, you can WhatsApp on 07585 835 150. So please do join in. It would be really good if you're able to, send your questions on, the numbers identified. So another interesting topic of discussion for which we've got an amazing guest speaker. The topic today is the world's first interactive prayer mat, My Journey. That is the journey of the COO and the founder of, this world's first interactive prayer mat. So he's also, like I said, the founder of the Salah mat. He also has a first-class honours and master's degree in product design. He also was a teacher for many years, for over 10 years, in the area of design and technology, both in schools nationally and internationally. Also, he has actually reached over 70 million people through social media. So I'm so excited to introduce our guest speaker today. His name is Kamal Ali, the founder of the world's first interactive Salah prayer mat. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Hello.
How are you, Sister Samina?
Alhamdulillah, I'm okay. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, very good, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
You're welcome, and thank you for taking the time out and taking our request on board. I really do appreciate it, and I'm so excited, and it's going to be really interesting today, and I'm sure the viewers will enjoy finding out about your journey from when you had this idea of the first interactive prayer mat worldwide, and how you followed that journey, your experience, and now that you've actually launched it, in the market, so it would be really interesting, to find out a bit more about that journey. And obviously we've had a little discussion, so that's why I've probably got a smile on my face, more so because I know the bit about your journey and how exhilarating it was and what you went through. So Kamal, I have introduced you very briefly, but maybe if you're wanting to add a bit more onto that introduction.
No, you did a really good introduction. Thank you so much. I feel like it was a bit too much, to be honest. What an honor. Thank you.
No, what an honor. I mean, it's going to be exactly the credentials, what you've achieved. So why wouldn't I introduce you in that way? So it's an honor to have you. Mashallah, mashallah. So can you tell me a bit about the Salah mat? Tell us about the product, how it works.
Yeah, so it's a fully interactive prayer mat. One of the best things about this prayer mat is that when children see this prayer mat, they're drawn to it, they're attracted to it. And for me, that's such a reward, such a blessing that I've created something, obviously with the blessings of Allah, that invites children to want to pray. And that's been my mission from day one, that we all learn how to pray. We all kind of go to the masjid. We all learn from our parents and our teachers. But what I really wanted to do is that I wanted to retain that learning, and for children then to actively want to pray and connect with Allah, because that's our kind of goal in life, really. And that's where we find peace and we find our answers. Our stresses in life, we can really get the prayer mat out, and do sujood and ask Allah, help me. And by the morning, Allah's helped you already. It's quite amazing.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. It's an amazing product. And I just wanted to ask you, the age range, what is the age range for this product? Which children is it aimed at? Is it aimed at maybe very young children, older children?
So we have two versions now, alhamdulillah. So first of all, we brought out the kids interactive prayer mat, which we say is recommended for any child from the age of 3 to 8, 9, even 10.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was just the one, interactive player mat worldwide. So you've got two versions, mashallah.
We've got two versions due to high demand and people requesting an adult version of the prayer mat. We created an adult version of the prayer mat, and we had a lot of requests from people who have become Muslim, people who have struggled with Salah, people who are older now and they have forgotten. We've had a lot of requests from people for an older version, and alhamdulillah, we launched an older version just a few months ago.
Alhamdulillah.
Just after Ramadan, after Eid.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, to be honest.
Mashallah, that's beautiful. Yeah. So the first prayer mat, that's aimed at young children, 3 onwards, and then you've got the adult prayer mat that was launched a few months ago at least, and so visually there must be a difference, and also the interaction, the actual, what's the word, what do you call it, the facilities, or what it has to offer, the prayer mat, the actual dynamics of that must be different, and aesthetically it must look different as well.
Yes. So the children's one is bright, is colorful. We've used primary colors. In the adult version, it looks like an adult one. It's longer, so it accommodates somebody who is taller. It has different functions. The adult one is light guided, so there are lights for each position of the prayer. So the light will come on and tell the user which position to go to. And we wanted to implement that because we see the adult one as an independent learning, independent use of the prayer mat. And the children's one, we see that as a family interaction. So mum, dad supporting their children with the interactive prayer mat to guide their learning.
Okay. And I was just wondering, with the children's mat, the functions on it, is it very similar, or is it dissimilar to what is offered with the adult prayer mat? I mean,
they're similar. There are some different inside of
them. And so you were saying that there's sounds and there's that guidance. What else does that offer? What other functions is it? I mean, you've talked about the lights.
Yeah, so the kids interactive prayer mat is available in different languages.
Okay, mashallah.
We've got over 15 different languages, and our next edition will have 20 different languages. And this is all from kind of high demand from people. We've had requests from people in Norway saying, I know we have a small Muslim population here, but our children would really love to hear it in the Norwegian language. For us as a business, it's not profitable to make it, to go through all of that kind of reproduction of things to make it for such a small market. But we really want to benefit as many people, as many children as possible.
So at the moment, it's available in 15 languages, is it?
15 languages, that's right.
Yeah, okay. And you're providing this product to quite a lot of countries worldwide. Which are the most, popular countries?
UK is obviously one of the most popular, USA, Australia, Europe. Then we go to the Middle East. We have a very good following from UAE, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar. We also have a good following from South Africa. We do sell these products in smaller quantities in Pakistan and India. So alhamdulillah, the kind of request and demand for the product is global.
Yeah, and mashallah, it's available in different languages. So you're spreading the word of Islam, you're spreading the word of, prayer, teaching young children, as well as adults as well. Alhamdulillah, that's amazing. So, I was really fascinated, and I'm sure the viewers are as well. The light bulb moment, the moment when it was like, eureka, this is what I'm going to create. When did that come about? Were you were you shopping? Were you at a restaurant? Were you at the mosque? When did that vision come? Did you have a dream? How did that idea evolve?
It was when I was praying, actually. I was praying, and my son, he was really young, and he was like 2.5, 3 years of age.
Okay.
And he was joining me in the prayer. He just came next to me, he was standing, and we went into sujood. And I noticed in the corner of my eye that he was struggling with some of the kind of positions of the prayer. So
and sorry, can I just intervene then? How old was he at the time?
2.5, 3 years of age.
Okay, so he was struggling with the positions?
Yeah, so with some of the positions of the prayer. And when I finished the prayer, I wanted to get him something that would make the learning of the prayer easier for him, especially the positions. And in my head, as a product designer, I've already got an idea in my head. I want a prayer mat that has hands, feet, and nose positions already printed on it. And when I looked online, looked on the usual places like Amazon and the internet, there was nothing available.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, why isn't there something available? This is like the most basic thing that somebody could, you should have, a child should have. And then I just started designing the prayer mat.
Yeah, so mashallah, it evolved from that experience with your son, who was only a few years old, trying to pray next to you, and you had that light bulb moment. And then, after that you looked, and that was the initial, the seed was planted, and then the idea evolved from that. Okay, mashallah, mashallah. So, once you had that idea, like you said, that you did your research, you had a look online. So then, take us through that journey. Then what happened next? What was the next step?
So that evening, I took out my laptop. I have got product design software on my laptop. I started designing the prayer mat. I've got a prayer mat now. I've literally designed it in one night.
You designed the prayer mat in one night, that same night? Is that what you said? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mashallah, that's commitment, and that's almost really magical for you to be able to complete it so soon. But that was like the first draft.
That was the first draft, and I had something that was that I could produce or model up very quickly, and I wanted to kind of move fast.
Okay, Kamal, thank you for that. But we're now going to actually have a short break. But please, viewers, please join us after the break, and we will continue on with this amazing topic, the world's first interactive prayer mat. Bye for now. Assalamu alaikum, viewers. Thank you for joining us back on the Let's Talk show, British Muslim TV. We're live here in the studio in Wakefield. So, as we were discussing before the break with Kamal Ali, who is the founder and CEO of the world's first interactive prayer mat. So, the question that he was answering before I politely interrupted was, what did you then do with your idea? So you did say that, that night you actually created a draft with your experience on product design. You created that first draft, the prayer mat. So then what did you do after that?
I sent it off for prototyping. Initially, the idea was that it was going to be just a print. And when I received the prayer mat as a print, I realized I added keywords around the prayer mat like Allahu Akbar, Subhana Rabbil Ala, and things like that, what you say in ruku and sujood. And then I realized that some of these kind of buttons around the sides could actually become buttons where you push and the sound comes out. So then I went on to the second stage of the prototyping and developing, where I then started working with translators around the world. The initial product had 7 translations. I had to have every single button translated. And then we worked with a technology company to implement the circuitry for the prayer mat itself. We had to change the materials because now we were using a circuit, so we ended up using waterproof and fire-resistant materials. So yeah, it was quite a lot of different things that happened throughout the process.
And how many years did it actually take you to finally complete that product? Because I know from reading some of the information online, your journey, I know it took quite a few, maybe years at least, and it was back and forth, changing the design, going to the company that checks the design and everything. So how many years did it actually take?
It took me 2 years from idea to launch.
Yeah.
About 2 years, give or take. It wasn't a simple thing. A lot of it is touch sensitive. So, for example, a part of the prayer will not start until the user touches that part of, for example, sujood. The sujood will not start until the user puts their hands and head and nose together. So those were quite difficult to work out, especially when you're working with a company that isn't Muslim. So they don't really know, and you're guiding them through almost like a code, and you're saying at C4, when C4 and C5 is touched, play this, and it was quite a lot of work.
So was it a company we're here within the UK, a non-Muslim company that you were working with?
No, I worked with a company in China.
Okay.
I was working at that time in Hong Kong for another company, doing product design, and I was also able to then, while I was in Hong Kong, go and visit the manufacturer and see them face to face, and able to show them exactly how the Muslim prayer works.
Right. So again, with respect to your journey, and you said that it took several years. So did you have any periods in between where you just thought, hang on a minute, I'm not getting anywhere? Because I know a lot of money was involved. It was back and forth, changing the design, consulting, getting people on board. So you must have had, like any designer, like anybody who starts on a new venture, you must have had those moments where you thought, hang on a minute, but I give up, I'm not getting anywhere, or this is too hard. I can't see the vision for this to actually take fruition. So did you have those moments? And if and when you did, how did you overcome those obstacles, for the viewers or anybody out there who maybe has ideas or who's maybe giving up on something or wanting to achieve? So what propelled you?
Yeah, I mean, I love the design process myself. I'm a product designer. I understand the design process really well. I've taken other products from idea to production to creation, and so the whole kind of running through the process was absolutely fine for me. I absolutely enjoyed and loved every minute of that. But it came to a point where I had the product. I had. It was ready. It was ready for production. And all I needed to do was say the go ahead. But to say the go ahead, it meant that I needed to pay the manufacturer. And I had an invoice, and the invoice said $40,000. And I was like, whoa, hold on 1 second. I can do the whole design process. But
say that again, $40,000.
Yeah, right. So, and I'm just a humble teacher. So, but I was sat down in the office, and I really thought about it, and I basically said that in my head, what came to my head was, if this prayer mat can help one child learn how to pray and help them on their prayer journey, I was like, that's it, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
That's my
mashallah, that is so beautiful. So that was the moment, or the thought that came to your mind, by the will of God, for you to then propel and take it further and not give up. And today, mashallah, so many people throughout the world, adults and children, are benefiting from it. So it's been incredible what you've done, and that is just so beautiful for you to then kind of like say that you gave up, but you then had that calling, and you thought, well, even if one person benefits from that, you will continue on with the product. And mashallah. So recently the product's actually been patented, which is, again, mashallah, congratulations. That is such a big achievement. You know what, I find this so exciting, and I'm so happy for you, having heard and learned of your journey, and the product's amazing. So mashallah, so much congratulations to you, really, because you worked so hard. So it's patented. Can you explain to the audience what patent means? Because I believe it's when the product is original and it cannot be copied by anybody else, and the fact that it's useful. So can you explain a bit about that process? Because it is a very big thing.
Yeah, so the actual process itself it's very long, because what they really do, so it goes to the patent office. You get an examiner, and what they do is they'll go through the whole search engine, the patent search engine. They'll check every single country that has ever created anything similar to this, and then they'll say that whether what you have created is original and inventive, or it's not, or it's been done before. So we had a lot of back and forth, showing us kind of things that are similar to it that could be, and we had to kind of go back and say, yes, it's similar, but it doesn't have this feature, or this is what we actually.
So sorry, Kamal, just to interject there. So when your product was launched, you know, when you kind of like created it, did you find that there was lots of like copycat products or, you know, duplicates which weren't original? Because quite often that happens, doesn't it? There's one product that...
That was an issue for us. I mean, we patented it before we launched it. So as a product designer, I knew that process.
Right. Okay.
I submitted the patent application before I launched the product. And
right.
That's one of the requirements. So, but when we did launch the product, soon after, almost within 8 months of having the product in the market, companies were copying the product.
Right.
And they were copying the actual invention of it being interactive and touch sensitive. So, only recently, actually, you know, at the end of August, we were awarded and granted the patent, and the patent said that yes, you are the first one to have invented this interactive prayer mat, and it's an original patent, original invention. So, alhamdulillah, you know, we can now use that patent to enforce our rights, our rights over that.
And maintain that original kind of like, what's the word, prayer mat, the original version of it. And hopefully it's going to deter other individuals who may well consider copying in the future from preventing them from doing that in the future.
Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. And so, again, this is something really interesting about you, and I think this gives hope to the viewers out there and young people out there, or anybody who's endeavouring to achieve things in their life. You actually failed your A-levels, didn't you? I think you got 2 out of 3 of those A-levels, but you went on to achieve a diploma in art and design, and then you completed a degree as well as a master's in, I think, product design. So what would you like to say to maybe the audience, the viewers tonight?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I had a very supportive family, and I know we can bicker amongst with our family, but family is so important because they are the ones that are always there, especially when you need them, right? You know, if you fall ill and you're in the hospital, it's your family, immediate family, who are going to be there, you know, before anyone else. You know, when we pass away, it's our immediate family who are going to be there before anyone else. So, I mean, I think, as you know, when I was young, I didn't appreciate my family as much as I do right now. And I remember when I didn't pass my A-levels, or didn't get the grades that I needed to get into university, and I almost gave up. I almost said, right, that's it. I'm going to work full time. I'm not going to go. And I remember my older brother and my mum sitting me down one day and saying, look, you need to go to university.
And mashallah, the rest was then history, and mashallah, you then went on to achieve, and look where you are now. So mashallah, mashallah. So if people want to get hold of you, you know, how can they get hold of you and find out a bit more about the mat, or to purchase, you know, the interactive Salah mat?
Yeah, our website is simple, www.mysalahmat.com, or you can type in My Salah Mat into the Google search, or you can type in interactive prayer mat, and you'll find us. Inshallah, do go.
Thank you. So thank you so much. So inshallah, you know, viewers, I hope you've gained something out of this as much as I've gained something from this. It's been very, very useful. So we're now at the end of the show, but please do tune in next week, and we're going to have another amazing topic of discussion. So today we've talked about the interactive prayer mat, the first one of its kind, created by Kamal Ali. Very innovative. He's actually got the patent of it as well. And we've talked about his journey of how he had the initial idea to then launching the prayer mat, which has now gone worldwide. So do tune in next week. Bye for now, viewers.